first of all, it's hard to speak after you just heard a speech like you just did. So I'm going to be reading from a script without a lot of emotion, but please bear with me. I just want to give you a summary of what's happened thus far. On May 6, 2010, the Metro Task Force for the Homeless filed a sweeping fair housing discrimination complaint with the U.S. Department of HUD, or U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, against the City of Atlanta, Central Atlanta Progress, and the Atlanta Downtown Improvement District. The complaint sets forth very serious allegations. Specifically, the complaint alleges that the City, Central Atlanta Progress, the Atlanta Downtown Improvement District conspired to and engaged in a pattern and practice of retaliation against the task force for its fair housing advocacy on behalf of homeless African American men. The complaint further alleges that the City of Atlanta falsely certified its compliance with its obligation to affirmatively further fair housing choice, which is a condition of it receiving federal funds earmarked for housing and community development. Indeed, the complaint requests HUD to withhold the distribution of nearly $22 million in federal funds to the City of Atlanta until the alleged wrongful and illegal conduct set forth in the allegations is corrected. Namely, that the injuries resulting to the task force are fully redressed, and the City of Atlanta comes into compliance with its obligations to affirmatively further fair housing choice within its jurisdiction. The injuries to the task force include, as alleged in the complaint, having its funding illegally cut off through the malicious conduct of the City, Central Atlanta Progress, and the Atlanta Downtown Improvement District, threatened with being driven out of downtown Atlanta through the illegal and malicious conduct of the City, Central Atlanta Progress, and the Atlanta Downtown Improvement District, through which conduct the City, Central Atlanta Progress, and the Atlanta Downtown Improvement District maliciously and illegally sought to forcibly remove 600 to 1,000 predominantly homeless African American men, many with disabilities, from finding shelter and refuge in the downtown area of Atlanta. Now, this complaint was filed on behalf of the task force by the Washington, D.C. law firm of Relman, Dane, and Colfax, which recently successfully convinced HUD to withhold $1.7 billion in federal funding from the state of Texas for similar complaints regarding fair housing. In the fall of 2009, the same law firm successfully exposed Westchester County in the state of New York to a liability of $150 million, which was subsequently resolved by a settlement in which the county set aside $62 million to establish new affordable housing in areas where there was an exclusion of affordable housing. This fair housing discrimination complaint filed by the task force last week will be pursued in the same manner as these two other complaints. Now, this controversy presents the public with an opportunity for transparency and open examination of the allegations concerning the City of Atlanta, Central Atlanta Progress, and the Atlanta Downtown Improvement District. This has not been possible to date because of the sphere of influence exercised by the City of Atlanta, Central Atlanta Progress, and the Atlanta Downtown Improvement District. The task force looks forward to a full and thorough investigation of its allegations against the City of Atlanta, Central Atlanta Progress, and the Atlanta Downtown Improvement District. It is confident, based on the discovery of information and evidence resulting from a pending parallel action in federal district court for the Northern District of Georgia, that HUD will take immediate action to address the injuries sustained to date by the task force and to ensure that the City of Atlanta complies with its obligations to affirmatively further fair housing choice going forward. That being said, the task force hopes that upon all the concerned parties' reflection, that an efficient and amicable conciliation can be achieved. Thank you. That's all I have to say at this point. If there are any questions later on about the technical aspects of the